Lorelai, quit eating my clothes. Hello?
There we go.
Yeah, we're live.
You know what is odd now is that YouTube is up, but it went automatically to mute, so I'm not getting my voice like duplicated here. So I can actually leave YouTube up, which is rarity. Hi guys, it's Cockatoos with attitude, and here's one with attitude. He's been chewing my clothing. Romeo left. He was behind. Oh, he's over in his normal spot. He was up here bugging me, weren't you, Ron? Yeah, yes, you were.
He didn't want to be on camera, I don't think.
Probably not. He likes to hide. Don't you like to hide, Mr. Romeo? Hi. Hi, Romeo.
Well, Erin's already here, so hello, Erin. Welcome.
Hello, Erin.
And Dirty Birds Inc. is here as well and says, are you guys getting a place to live? Oh, we're working on it.
We're working on it. Got the I'll give the whole thing, but we're in process right now. We're just trying to get everything, all the ducks in a row, or in this case, all the cockatoos in a row for the pre-approval on the loan. So nothing is guaranteed at this point, but
progress being made.
And for a while there, it was 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but what are you doing back there? Making sure I don't put my hoodie up. Yeah, I know.
And Warm Fuzzy is here and Falcon Sue is here. So hello to both of you.
Hey, Falcon Sue. Hey, Warm Fuzzy. These guys, most of these guys are warm, but they're not too fuzzy. Right, Lucy? Now there's a condescending look if you've ever seen one. Jazzbird. Hi, Jazzbird. Did I touch your tail? Yeah, I did. So we've got drippy weather. It's kind of drizzle outside. It's supposed to get a big storm tomorrow, which is fun. It's too wet down here for them to really play on the cement, so they're going to be on the ropes, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, everyone like and subscribe so that the birds can get more ropes to play on.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, you can see where it leaks. You see the darker spots of the rope. They've got the patio out here is not what I would call serviceable, but I have an old, that's from a cage. There's an old pan from the bottom of a cage up there. I try to keep the rain off the camera mainly. And if I cut my feet in the right spot, rain might not get my feet.
I guess rain isn't a problem most of the time where you are.
No. And where we're moving it isn't either.
Yeah.
But you can see it dripping down. Making a pool down next to us.
It's a bit of interesting novelty for you guys. I'm surprised no one's trying to take a bath or a shower or something in it. Is it a bit cold maybe?
It's warmer than yesterday, but tomorrow we're supposed to get the rain, cold, and the wind. They've got a new name for these. They call them a blast or something. I don't know. They never used that term when I was younger, but you get in it. And they've got flood warnings and all kinds of stuff for tomorrow. So we've seen them before. We've yet to see that much rain, but yeah. Did a raindrop touch you, Lorelai? Is that what that was? Oh, it was water. Oh, she's just like the witch in the Wizard of Oz, you know. I'm melting, I'm melting. She give herself try to give her a bath. She didn't like it, but if she wants to get a bath, that's fine. She can do it, but don't try to give her one. You're melting, aren't you, Lorelai? Hmm?
How will she cope? She'll have to chew your clothes some more to make her feel better.
You can see the look on her face. She's looking at that. That's water. I don't want any part of that.
Oh, Lorelai.
He's probably blaming me for it.
Yeah, it's like, Dad, how could you do this to me?
Well, the thumbnail sketch, and go ahead and start talking about this, but the same thumbnail sketch is that the house inspection has been done, and I've gone through it with the realtor. Few things need to be fixed. Nothing. The only thing that I thought was kind of odd, he had put down that the sewage system, because when you have a manufactured house, there's a crawl space under the building, so you can get down there. And he did a full inspection of it. He said that the drop on the system was incorrect. Well, that could go either way. It could be like tilted up too far or tilted down too far. So tilted down too far is a problem, but tilted up too far is a big problem, because you got to have fall. It's got to go down. So got to find out what he meant by that. And then the electrical panels need a little work, and there's little bits and pieces. The roof has a few things that have to be fixed, that kind of stuff. It was an incredibly extensive report with pictures and annotations and arrows drawn to things.
Oh, wow.
He didn't leave out anything. If there was a piece of weather molding on a door inside the building that was not a door leading to the outside, he noted it. I mean, I looked at things having a background in plumbing going, oh, yeah, we got to get rid of those gate valves. Can't use those. That's just asking for a problem, because they have a rising stem, and what the stem is known to do is no longer rise. Or if you open them, you can't close them again. So, but I can't make them change those, so I'll have to probably do that myself. I mean, I can do a little plumbing. That's not a problem, but
I guess really, and any work that you can do yourself, you'd rather do that than have to, try and get the seller to do it, and then it holds everything up.
Yeah, as far as the main line, if that's a gate valve into the building, I will have a plumber come out and do that. And here's the reason: if the plumber's doing the main line to the building and there's a problem, he has everything there to solve it.
Yeah.
Now, after that, if I have a problem when I'm doing something inside, I can go out and throw the main line. It's not a pump anyway, so you can just turn off the pump. But everybody's on pump out there. It's all wells. So
yeah.
And the well, they did the well check, and that's okay. And the septic is clean, so that's a little humor. Little humor there. So all that looks good. And what I found out is that this home hasn't been lived in for a while. That's why there's some tiles missing, because they get wind through there. Not as high as I've seen it where I used to live, but they do get wind through there. So, but no, I forgot where this has been the way I've been. I've had so much to do that I start talking, and I forget what I'm talking about. But
Dirty Birds has been asking in the chat for you to show the angry cockatoo, but I don't know if there's anyone angry at the moment. But if anyone's pulling any silly faces, then you can show us that.
I think he might mean the Jasmine, because he said the one above who fluffs up, so she's the one who could be interpreted as angry.
She certainly looks imperious.
And then you can see she's not, because her foot's up. But she's just wondering what the heck I'm pointing the phone at her for, is what she's doing. But yeah, there's no angry ones out here. I did a live on Facebook and Cecil just pretended that he never does it. I got close to his cage and he just ignored me. He didn't grab my clothing, and but as soon as I got off that, I put the phone back in my pocket. He was right on trying to grab me through the bars. Poor little bastard. That's what I face when I try to feed Bob in his cage without taking that big 5-foot table. It's 5 foot by 2.5 and takes up almost all the room. If that's in there, Cecil will not leave me alone. He will just make it impossible for me to feed Bob. So I have to feed everybody else. Then I put Cecil in, put his food in there, and he tries to get me the whole time I'm doing that. Then I fold up the table and then I can get Bob. So all the inspections are done. That has to be put in a neat package and all of them have to be sent at once. So that's going to get done. And then the things that need to be fixed, the negotiations will begin there. Who's going to fix what? So the ones like the roof has to be, and the electrical and all that, and the plumbing have to be okay for VA to approve it. So they'll have to do that. But there's other things that I may have to do.
So GTH had a question. I'm not sure if it's a joke question or he says, hi, how deep are wells in Nevada? Wait, what was I asking?
This well is 148 feet deep.
That's a long way down.
Yeah, that's what, 50 meters, roughly.
Cool. Cozy.
And why I can remember that detail, I don't know. I read that last night, and technical stuff like yesterday doesn't stick in my mind, but a detail like that does. Well, I knew I'd be talking to the realtor, so I tried to get as much of this stuff in my head so I could be like cleaning cages while she talked to me about it without looking at it. But then she wanted me to go to the summary page, so I had to sit down anyway. It's like I really know all the little problems the building has. What we're trying to figure out is why there are 4 electrical panels. There's one for the house, and then there's 3 others. And there's a couple of sheds out there. And I'm thinking, well, one of them, they could have power to both sheds, and maybe they were hooking up a recreational vehicle or something, because she said a lot of people do that out there. They have RVs. So
Is one for the well?
that's connected to the house. It should be, but the other ones we don't know. It's a 200 amp to the house. There's another 100 amp. The other 2 amount to 100 amps, or other 3 amount to 100 amps. So we don't know where those are going to. She's going to ask, but so this house was not lived in for a while. It was purchased and refurbished for sale. So it's somebody who buys and then turns them over kind of thing. Which is good because it means it's a B1 contractor. It's a general contractor. General contractors have, plumbers and carpenters and roofers and all that in their pockets, right? So,
got contacts.
Yeah. So it shouldn't, they should be able to fix a lot more than like a single owner could fix. So we'll see.
Keeping our fingers crossed.
As usual, she is putting the whole list over to them. This is what we'd like you to fix, and then they'll come back and say, well, we'll fix this, and that. So they have to fix the ones the VA is going to come back and look at. When the appraiser looks at it, they're going to check it, and if these things aren't fixed, plus what? Who's beeping? Alpine, California. I don't think I need to pick that up. Send a voicemail. Okay.
Let Pippa answer the phone.
Yeah, I tried not to answer the phone. Well, I just can't imagine why I'd need to talk to anybody in Alpine. So that's where Lorelei came from, though. That's where the breeder was that had her. She's the only one here that was a baby when I got her. And now she has to have Haldol every day, ever since she became an adult. It just kind of threw her off the cliff. It's just because they don't have that the steps that they need in their development when they're young, that they end up with a chance, the not just a tendency, but a push to become feather destructive.
Oh, well, Warm Fuzzy says that her sister in Las Vegas has well water and it has arsenic in it, so they do reverse osmosis. They built outside town 40 years ago and therefore on a well.
Yep. Well water is, what you get in the tap is probably worse, I think, in most cases. But yeah, everything will. I'll put a whole house filter on it, and then I'll have the RO inside. So, a whole house filter is, we're talking 50 microns, so it's only taking out chunks and stuff like that. But then, the other one, you get down to less than 1 micron on an RO system, and then on top of that, I'm going to put it through the UV, which is what I do now anyway. So.
Yeah, because Don's been doing reverse osmosis for the birds for years.
Yep. Well, fortunately, being in the plumbing industry for many years, I got to learn about what water is, what water supply is in the United States, what you're getting when you take water out of the tap, and then I got the taste sensation by going to Washington State and then coming back here. I was in Washington State for 4 months back in the 80s, and I stopped at a rest stop in California, and I tried to drink out of a fountain, and I spit the water right out. It tasted like somebody flushed their pool water in there. In Washington State, they just drink the water because it just rains all the time and the water's clean. But down here, it's horrible. So
yeah, it's kind of like being in Scotland versus being in London.
So well water, yeah, I'm definitely going to put a whole house filter on it. They aren't terribly expensive. And they're basically just a cotton fiber. Now that you don't even use charcoal on those, just a cotton fiber filter that you change every month. And then that'll save the RO system a little bit. Probably put a filter on this is the thing. You can take a shower, you can put a filter on it, but as far as the water coming off a tub, you really can't do that. So I probably will. I don't like to take a bath anyway. This thing's got a spa in it, but I don't really want to take a bath in water that might have other chemicals in it. So I'll just put one of those chemical filters on the shower head. And that way Bob can still take a shower with me, which he likes to do. The big silly bird.
I think Romeo would enjoy the spa bath.
He would too, but I don't know if he'd go in there with me. He's still a little funny about me ever since I gave him that medicine. He's just weird about it. And he's such a phobic bird that, once he gets something in his mind, it's hard to get it out of there. He'll come over and ask me to pet him, and like he did get up right on my neck. But if I go to pick him up, he looks at me like, I'm not doing that.
Maybe if you showed him the amazing jacuzzi, spa, bath, super duper shower, whatever, he'd be like, wow, that's so amazing. And then he'd forgive you.
Yeah, if I've got help and I can get him to there. Right now, getting him out of his cage. Well, I have to get him out of his cage today anyway, whether he likes it or not. I've got to fix that beak, and his nails are getting too long. But I'm thinking like I'm already going there and don't even know if the loan's going to go through or not. But if the loan doesn't go through, there are other lenders we can try. So,
I think the idea is that you're going to Pahrump, whatever. Even if not that specific house. So
yeah, it's just if not that, then I'll have to start looking for either another house or a rental out there. I understand they don't like people who have birds because there was somebody who moved in Pahrump. It's a small town, 44,000 people. So they all know that somebody moved in with birds and tore the place up. And it's like, haven't you ever had somebody move in with dogs and have them tear the place out? I mean, why does it have to be about birds, you know? It's the person who has them and what that person allows them to do and the way they maintain them that makes the difference. It doesn't, but and I think I'll approach it that way too. I'll just say, tell the realtor and the other person who runs the rescue out there, just tell them, yeah, you've never had dogs tear things up.
Yeah.
Why blame birds for what dogs have done? Dogs can be pretty destructive, you know. Cats too. They can leave a urine smell you can't get out.
And ultimately, they want someone in the property rather than it laying vacant. So if that somebody has beds, it's better than not getting anyone.
Well, on top of that, it's really hard to move. So, you know, you get into some property and it's difficult to move out. So you've got somebody who's going to stay, right? Now, if we buy a house, we get a house, then we'll move out. But otherwise, we'll stay in whatever property we get in, you know, as long as it works for us. But yeah,
Lisa has joined. So hello, Lisa. And Jamin Jamie has sent $5. So thank you very much for the donation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Lorelai says, I can get more beans.
She can get more pinto beans.
She loves pinto beans and black beans and edamame, but I think it's in that order. Pinto beans, black beans, edamame. But she'll eat the pinto.
Clothes.
Huh?
And clothes.
Yeah, well, she'll eat first. If she's not hungry, she'll eat the clothes. She's trying to do that now. Silly thing. Yeah, it's all looking pretty good. It's just, I'm going to get my heater going here. My hand is starting to get cold, and if it gets cold, it'll have trouble. Lorelai, would you let go of my clothes? Darn it, stop. You big pest. I'm trying to reach in my pocket, and she's trying to grab my clothes and eat them. Silly girl, don't start vibrating now. So right now I have the lending agent is bugging me about the W-2, but it's not ready yet. So it should be ready later today. And then I should have a paycheck I can give them for this year by tomorrow. So, I mean, all that's going to get this thing moving, but we've already gone ahead with stuff. You know, a lot of people would wait until they were sure about the loan, but I figure it's better to get everything done, be ready, because we can get out of here faster because we need to go. Oh, you almost got me, but I saw you. I saw you there, kid.
And back there's the Shuggy.
Is she actually moving or is she just stuck like that?
I think she comes over.
She's moving.
She moves so slowly. I was like, I actually couldn't tell if she was even moving.
I've seen her move quick, but she doesn't do it unless she has to. She's not she's more of a calm influence on everything most of the time. What are you doing there, little girl? Why are you falling sugar?
Who's falling sugar?
Kazi, what are you doing? Oh, just taking a new spot. Okay. Hi, Shug.
Shuggy.
Oh,
look at that long leggies.
Do you think she wants to get preened?
I think so too. He's running after some white birds. These birds can preen fabulous. Oh, Lucy.
Pretty bird? Are we going to pretty
that
bird?
Looks cute next to Jasmine.
Pretty bird?
Shuggy, where do you go?
Pretty bird, pretty bird, pretty bird.
Oh no, Lorelai flew away.
Oh.
Oh, Shuggy. No one wants to bring the Shug. Oh no.
Sugar bird.
So everyone gives a thumb up, so Sugar will finally find someone to preen her.
Yeah.
Oh, that was what was that?
Someone went playing. Is that Cosy?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Little
love her
Cosmo.
harakiri way of flying.
She's such a cute girl.
Hmm. Oh, next. No, wait, that was on YouTube. It's a little bit time delayed.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing watching both pictures at the same time.
Yeah, I tried now to put the Zoom page basically over the YouTube, so I see the picture on YouTube, but have the chat in also in focus. I know it's all complicated just because I use Windows. I know, Don.
No, it's the same problem on Apple. It has to do with the delay that.
Yeah,
That-
but on Apple I could put two windows next to each other.
True.
Yeah, that's funny. On Windows, you can't put your windows next to each other without a big old faff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when Windows came out, which is funny, they call it Windows when you think about it, because those individual programs weren't actually functioning. So, like, if it went into the background, so you're working on one thing and you click on a window, that basically shut the other one off on the other side, and it was just a dead image on the screen. And that isn't how Apple worked at the time. So, it looked as if you had multiple things open, but you really didn't. And where Apple actually at the time was, if you had multiple applications running, each application was running. But that's not the way Windows was. I mean, it was just a shell sitting over DOS. So, and DOS was not even something that Bill Gates wrote. So,
Is Sugar now whining from the distance?
A Beautiful Life has joined us. Say hello to A Beautiful Life. Nice to see you.
hello. Now the phone got heavier since yesterday. I had an attack on the case, so I had to use another case. This is a case I have when I put on a handle on the phone, and then it has a button so you can take pictures and video. But I had to switch cases because the other one got ripped up yesterday. So,
Oh no, who did that?
Who was the culprit?
Lorelai.
Oh, Lorelai.
Lorelai, not the Bubbly Bob.
He keeps trying, but she's better at it. Yeah. She kept going towards the pocket, and then one moment when my mind was diverted on another bird, she got a hold of it.
And she struck.
I mean, I have another one, like an emergency case, which is one that you can see through, and it has protectors for the cameras, and it also has a screen protector. But I got it. It was like a $30 case. I got it for $9 because they're like 13 is not a phone. You could still buy them, but it's not a phone that most people are buying. So now that the 14 has a 48 megapixel wide lens, most people want that.
God, that's crazy. I remember when digital cameras first came out and it was like 2.5 megapixels or something.
Well, most of these, like Samsungs, and I'm sorry, yeah, Amy, but like Samsung, they've got a huge megapixel, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that the sensors are that great, but they got a lot of megapixels. The problem is when you take a picture, that's what you get, and you don't need that. So what Apple's done is they made it so, yeah, you take a 48 megapixel picture, but when it's all reduced, it gets down to 10 megabytes in size. And I mean, you can make them larger, but the point is, it reduces everything down to the size that you could make a wall mural out of, and it would be fine. But it doesn't just load your system up with a whole bunch of huge data, so that you don't need. It does the same thing with the RAW format, because in Apple RAW format, when you take a picture with all the extras on there, it cuts out the things you can't use. If it's completely solid white and it's out of range, it's out of there. If it's black, it's unnecessary, it's out of there. So I mean, it does that, and then when it's done, it reduces it to 10 megabytes. So when those pictures are crisp and the colors are good, that's what you want. So You can turn some of those features off. I mean, you can, with the 48 meg, you want a 48 megapixel picture taken at full res, you can do it, but I don't know why you would want to, but you could. I mean, there are exceptions. If you're taking a picture like that, and you want to zoom right into Roman's eye up there in the corner, then you might need the whole thing to do that. But in most cases, that's not what you need. So. Right, Cause? I take a lot of pictures. I've got almost 30,000 pictures and 4,000 videos, something like that. Not counting the videos I have stored on hard drives.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Going back to when I first got, I think my first videos were just before I got Lorelei. I started taking video right after Chloe and I spent a weekend filing all the paperwork to start a nonprofit. That's 2.5 pounds of paper to the IRS and 2.5 pounds of paper to the state of California, flyers, and I had to design a website that weekend. Unfortunately, I knew website how to do that, but I had to have website, had business cards, had to have flyers, had to have a business plan, had to actually buy a biz plan and do a whole business plan. So I had to put the bylaws together. I got a little help with the IRS. I mean, they actually have the bylaws, and all you have to do is go through and make a few changes. But still, you had to have all that stuff together. Did it in a weekend with the Nolo Press book on starting a nonprofit in California. So.
And more than a decade later, here you are.
Yeah. Most businesses are gone within the first 5 years. When I say most, 4 out of 5. And on bird rescues, it's like Dr. Jenkins said. He says, I'm not saying this to when I went into him, asked him to be on the board. He said, I'm not saying this to make you feel bad, but 4 out of 5 normal businesses fail, nonprofits, in the first 5 years. And he says, you got a bird rescue. I've seen them come and go. I'm still there. Well, I'm not still there, but our business is still there. I'm still here with the birds, and we still have us great so far. So,
and this move is going to make things more secure for the long term.
Yep.
So you can be there for many more years.
It'll end up that the house will be in my name, but I'm going to have the paperwork drawn up almost. Who's calling in? I can't see. Oh, it's Rick. I got to pick this up, guys.
Okay.
Okie doke.
Well, Don's been having a lot of important phone calls lately, so Anne-Marie and I can entertain you while Don's on the phone. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Don't know if we missed anything.
Beautiful Life just mentioned that the aviary looks so clean and all toys are picked up. And I just mentioned that it looks every day that way because Don cleans it after they were out. And then they came in, and then after a while Cecil came in. And when Cecil came in, he needs, 10 minutes, and then it looks like, one of these big clear bombs has come in.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like Cecil's toy graveyard has been cleared up, but I expect when he comes out, he'll make another one.
Yeah. So King Cecil is brought in. First thing, he looks if his bucket is still inside, and then he looks into his bucket, and then most of the time there's one of his toys, one of his favorite balls, and then the siesta can start.
Yeah, that seems to be the best strategy for dealing with Cecil. If you get him in the bucket and keep him there, then he'll not cause too much trouble.
Yeah, he likes his bucket. So let's see. Is Don now double in? No, wait. Old Don has gone. Let's see. So now it's
He's back.
Don again.
Don is back. Hurrah.
Yeah, it was the lending agent, and he was just bugging me about the W-2s, which they don't have ready yet. So
Yeah, there's a question about the move from Falcon Zoo. She wonders if you will have to register the sanctuary in Nevada.
I wish you hadn't answered that question. If you hadn't asked, because I know I'm going to have to, and I'm just trying not to even think about that right now. I've got so much to do, but yeah, it's going to have to do that. I can keep the same. We have that address in Long Beach, and I can use that as our temporary spot until I get the paperwork done to register it there. We're federally registered, but we're going to have to be registered in Nevada because that's where we're going to stay. So. Yeah, we have to do that. Believe me, I know. It's easier in most other states to make that shift, though, so it shouldn't be a problem. And we've been around a long time, so I don't see any real difficulty. But yep, we're gonna have to do that.
It's always so much to do.
It's the Willy Wonka thing, right? So little to do, so much time.
Mm. And a beautiful life wants to know what's happening with the business of the loan.
We're still putting together the package to hand to the lender. So we need the W-2 from last year, and we're waiting on that. And the first paycheck from this year, which will be in a couple of days. And then once we have that package together and everything else is in a neat little bow, we hand it over and we take out a pantheon of gods and start praying in order, one after the other.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hand it over and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yep. And the ultimate decision is made by a computer. So you would think, me being a computer guy, that would be an advantage.
But is it some computer that was programmed in COBOL 45 years ago?
Not an IRS computer, so I imagine it's running Windows, I would guess. But which is beyond my understanding. I understand that they're less expensive, but so is a tricycle. You could have a car or a tricycle. Which one do you want? Well, I'll take the tricycle. But I used Windows for years because there wasn't enough software for Apple, and that's not true anymore. So I like the fact that it doesn't crash all the time. That's a big plus for me. What did I have this morning?
Vendor.
I went to open something in email, and the email didn't crash, but the PDF I was trying to open crashed. And when something goes like that, wow, something went wrong. Of course, it wasn't the operating system, but it was. Well, I can't believe something actually stopped working. Usually when I see a notification that a program isn't working, it's just because it's a really extensive, complicated program, and I'm asking it to do a lot more than it should. And so, yeah, it looks like it's frozen, but it's not. Video rendering will do that sometimes if I'm rendering a whole bunch of streams at once. That kind of thing. If you just tap your toes and wait a couple of seconds, the little thing goes away. I was thinking that on Windows, instead of that little clock that comes up, I don't know if they're still using a clock. You can tell how long it's been since I played with the Windows system, but a little clock that comes up that tells you that the system can't do anymore. You're like, I'm sorry, we're busy. It should come up with a little like a monkey, organ grinder with a monkey that puts a cup out. Toss me a couple of pennies and I'll start playing again. Yeah. Even Lorelei didn't find that funny. And Pippa's not out here to go, yeah, that's right, that's right. Lorelei. Hey, baby. Lorelei.
If you ever started a blog or a podcast about about Apple products, you and Pippa could just kind of rant at each other. You could go blah 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 blah, and then Pippa
yeah.
could go. That's right.
That was. I think that would be a great format for a podcast. Pip and Dawn.
What do you think, Lorelai?
Mm.
She's getting all quiet, and Salamander's up there preening. Everybody else is just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, Amanda having a good preen behind you. He looks good.
I got to use my arm there, Lorelai. You can't just sit on my arm. I have to occasionally move.
Sweet boy, Amanda. And the Shuggy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I caught her.
sugar.
She's playing with something, and now, of course, she's pretending she's not.
That's the sugar. That's 100% sugar behavior. So whenever she notices someone notices her playing, then she stops. Sugar.
You got the
No.
evidence in her beak, though. She's got that
No
little
one
green
is allowed
piece.
to watch the Shuggy play. We even tried it with hidden cameras, but when she finds the hidden camera, she stops.
Yep.
You must be really sneaky to catch the sugar playing. The
Mm.
Shuggy. But that's a bird thing. Some birds like to hide certain things.
Lorelai, you can't have that. Stop.
And
She's
Sugar
great.
likes to hide that she actually likes playing.
Oh, gonna get behind me now, Sugar? Is that what you're gonna do?
Mhm.
Turn it around, Don. That's one nice thing about Zoom when you're in doing YouTube. You can actually turn the phone around. If you try that with YouTube, it says, "Yeah, you got to get phone orientation incorrect." You know, like,
Mhm.
how about coders don't know how to code? There's no reason you can't use the geolocation data to switch the screen around, but they can't do it.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, Amanda.
why are you sticking your face here when somebody else came? Huh? Sugar, what are you doing?
is the chat so quiet or am I missing something?
No, it looks very quiet. I haven't seen any messages for a while.
Are we putting everyone to sleep? Are we putting people to sleep? What do you think, huh?
Well, I'm a little bit sleepy today. Oh, Amanda, how he looks into the camera. It's like, so, hey, anybody there?
Mhm. Anyone who can hear us, write beep, 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 beep in the chat.
Amanda? Amanda?
Did we lose the chat room?
No, I don't think so.
Well, sometimes when you don't see anybody there, the chat has gone south. You know. Remember, we're talking about the coders who coded this thing that don't seem to.
Yeah, might be. But I can still chat, and just Eleanor wrote a message. So
Lorelai, stop chewing my clothing. You big monster.
Well, GTH42 is there, so yep, he's writing his beeps. So yeah, we've got some peachy songs. Yeah, Warm Fuzzy is doing a peachy song. This is good. Yeah, we have people.
we are not alone. Yippee-yay. Oh, a lot of beep 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 messages. That's cool.
You know,
Maybe it was so fascinating that they were all listening entranced and not writing anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the time I thought I was going to read poetry in public, and there was a place not too far from here called Jimmy's, a coffee shop. So they had a poetry night. So I went there, and I was like towards the end of the thing, and you watch these people get up there and they're reading their poetry, and everybody's talking, lightly, but they're talking and chatting, and I get up there and I start reading my poetry, and all of a sudden it gets really quiet. I'm like, oh my God, I've given everybody a shot of Novocaine out there. So I had 6 or 7, I think it was 7 poems I read. And then when I said, well, thank you to this crowd that was sitting there looking like I'd hit them with a stick or something. And then they got up and clapped. And everything I write about whenever I do poetry, which I don't really do much anymore, but is all pretty depressing stuff. I mean, there's only, I think I've got one or two poems that are not depressing. I think everything I read that day was depressing. And, you know, they all stood up and clapped. And I'm like, what? I was so shocked.
I guess
Like,
they were overcome with emotion.
overcome with, you know, sadness, I guess. There was one poem that wasn't sad. It was the one about the guy who I never met, who was a desertologist. And he lived to be 100. And he actually took photos of a centennial cactus, one that blooms every 100 years. He actually took pictures of that, you know, and he did the slow motion reveal, you know, took the time-lapse photo. And he just parked his Jeep, told the kids, "You're playing right here." And he set his camera up and he spent the day just capturing the centennial cactus. So I wrote a poem about that, and it's a really upbeat poem because this guy was something else. He shared a lot of qualities with Peaches. He loved people. And what he would do is he'd meet you and he'd say, "Well, what's your name? What's your address?" He wouldn't ask for your phone number. "What's your address?" And if you give it to him, he'd write it down. And then that Christmas, you'd receive a box of dates.
Oh, that's nice.
A desert fruit, right? Yeah, a desert fruit. And to everybody he knew, he had this thing, he called it his Bible, and he had all these names in there. And every year he sent dates to everyone that he met in there that would give him their name and address. So I wrote a poem about him, and it was funny because I was at his memorial. It was a Buddhist memorial, and so there's a little reincarnation in there, you know, that kind of thing. And so they talked about him, and then I drove out. I was in the desert too. I drive out of the desert. I was heading home. I pulled the car over, and in 20 minutes, I wrote this poem. But that was the only one, and I read that one first, and then I read the rest of them are all pretty depressing. The one about my first wife, one about relationships, which I understand now because of my memory. I lost a lot of friends because I forget they existed. I have a strange memory issue that I guess a lot of people have it and don't know it. You don't make the memories that other people make. I don't make video memories of anything. Oops. It's getting rained on here. Something's getting through. Lorelai, got to stop.
Oh no.
She's gotten into full vibratory mode. And she's using my hand warmer as an egg. Get up there.
Oh, Lorelai.
Creative.
You're a mess.
Creative, though. Switch back on. There we go. She's being creative. It feels like an egg. I'm going to lean up against it. Great.
Oh, Lorelai, you're a mess. I'll go.
I got to let her know I love her, but she says, "You love me if you put me right where the rain is falling."
It's a cold shower.
At least your poop looks normal, girl.
Well, Warm Fuzzy says that she is listening and putting away Christmas trees. Lisa says, "I'm enjoying the chat." And and there was a question from A Beautiful Life, who says, "Are the girls more subdued in the cockatoo world? I know with my budgies that my girl is more subdued, although she can be bossy with her boyfriend."
I can't say that for certain because I have had a good example is Coco. I would not have called Coco subdued in any way, shape, or form, and she was definitely a girl. She was an umbrella cockatoo, and she was one of the more active birds I've ever seen. Pippa is a girl, and she's not subdued in any way, shape, or form. So I think it just depends. We're talking Bob is a Triton male, and they tend to be just highly energetic, just like Pippa is a Triton female, and she's energetic. Cecil is just Cecil. Cecil is just, he's just got a lot of energy. I think in general, the Moluccans are more, I don't like the word, but I use it. They're more laid back, a little slower, maybe a little more manipulative. And excuse me, you look like you're white. Will you do a white man's job? You know, come over here and greet me.
Yeah,
I think
in our flock, the Moluccans have developed a a really funny dynamic. Everybody of the Moluccans is trying to get one of the umbrellas to preen. They all like to be preened, but no one preens back. So,
Yeah, this is what happens if they're not raised in a flock, and they just don't have the behaviors they need, and it's hard to teach them. Lorelai's pretty good at teaching that. She's taught a number of birds. Bob preens because of Lorelai. He wasn't a preener when he came here, and then she taught him to preen.
He's very good at it now.
Cause is a good preener, but I try to limit how much she does that because she became a barber. So where she would over preen other birds, which is what barber means. I can always say that because people think, well, my bird barbers and does it to itself. No, we don't cut our own hair usually. That's why they call it barbering. It's when a bird does another bird. It's feather picking disorder or feather destructive disorder if they're doing it to themselves. Self damage, right? But she's a barber, so you got to be careful with her. She starts preening somebody, they can start losing feathers. She was stuck in a room between a kitchen and a garage with Simone, who's now in New Jersey, but she was stuck with her for 12 years, and they used to just tear their feathers off. So another reason that Simone is not here is because that behavior is really difficult after 12 years of it to stop. And if they start preening each other, you're going to have feathers on the ground. So probably could have dealt with it, but I hadn't taken Dr. Zelig's course. I'd only taken Dr. Friedman's course at that point. And, self-study too, but, Dr. Zelig's course has made me a much better trainer. So train them to make the right decisions on their own. Now, if I could just train Cecil not to attack me, well, he doesn't attack me, but not to eat my clothing from inside his cage.
I guess the thing with these guys is they're also individual. It's hard to generalize once you get to know them. Yeah,
that's one thing about cockatoos. You've got Romeo up there, who's he likes female humans. He will jump on them and say I love you and all that kind of thing. He will sometimes get along okay with most men. Cross him one time, try to give him medicine he doesn't want or anything, and it takes a long time to get him to trust you again. And then you've got someone like Cause, who's like, okay, you can flip me upside down, do whatever you want, I'm okay with it. She doesn't care, but then again, she's darts across she moves like lightning. She's like a superpowers. She's like that boy in The Incredibles, right? Dash. She's gone, and you got to watch her. She used to go after Lorelai, and you have to be careful because they could hurt each other fast. But I've got her where she doesn't do that anymore, right, little girl?
So Aaron donated for the move. Thank you, Aaron. Much appreciated. And Killer Katie is with us. And TTH has a question. Do the preen birds not notice someone picking their feathers out, or does it just start fights? So I think that's to the debate about barbering.
Yeah, I've never seen a fight develop over it. What I've seen is the one bird will leave the other one. They'll make that yelling sound if like you're doing something wrong, and if it continues, then they'll leave. Obviously, with the two that were trapped in the same room, Cause and Simone, that they couldn't do that, but. In the wild, if you've seen the Parrots of Telegraph Hill, Mark Bittner talks about the two birds. There was one bird who was obviously from captivity. She was picked. She was picking herself. Well, she started picking her mates, and her mate finally left her. That's it. I'm done. So it's abnormal behavior, and I think they recognize it. But it depends on the bird again, too. What's abnormal to one won't be abnormal to the other because they weren't raised normally. So.
Yeah, with Cause and Simone, if they were sisters and raised together, then they just thought that was normal and they did it to each other.
Yeah, just sitting in one small cage in a cupboard in the garage is not, entertaining. So I think they probably had nothing else to do and therefore developed really strange behavior.
Yeah, it was sad when I saw it going on too. I mean, I knew something was going on because both Cause and Simone had damage to their head feathers. And that does not happen, right? You don't get damage to the head feathers from self.
No, I've seen a photo. They looked like they were bald.
Yeah. And the first thought is, that it was beak and feather disease, but no, that test on that came back negative. It was, you just watched them. If they were right next to each other, you could see it the moment we got them, they just started chewing on each other. So, well, I'm going to make the switch and I'll leave the phone up so you guys can see. Let me switch the camera if I can do this. Hold on, Lorelei.
Well, let's moderate the switch.
We have to do the running commentary, like it's a horse race or something, or
That's
a football
always fun.
game.
Time to go in, Lorelei. I got to put you in the pouch for a minute so I can get through the door without losing her.
Oh yeah, because I better turn off my camera because everyone can see me like lounging.
No. Yeah, we still need Don to be focused. So what has happened?
I think we're in Don's pocket.
Yep, you're in Don's pocket. You got to get through the door without. This one can fly, and good flyer. So.
He should be still in the spotlight. Let's turn.
That okay?
Let's see.
Yeah, that seems to be better.
Okay. Well, it's this the way they coded it. Sometimes it comes up with the background. Change the background, and no matter what you do, you can't fix it. It just stays there.
Yeah, now it looks good.
Okay.
Oh, well, beautiful life is leaving. Got to hang the clothes to dry. So, thanks for coming. Nice to see you. And the aviary is starting to go crazy. People are starting to move around, and someone's screaming, and someone's flapping.
I think in the middle of the aviary is Causey sitting on the crossroad, and Romeo is so far up in his corner, but now starts to climb the bars. I think the tail flash was Mander, and Sugar is in that corner, pretty next to Jasmine, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Sugar and Jasmine are both there in the back. I think.
So far, pretty chilled. Maybe it's also Lucy. Lucy must sit somewhere there too, where the Shuggy is. So actually, I don't know where Jasmine is.
It looks like Salamander is on the left on his own, and then Sugar and Jasmine are both in the back right, next to each other.
But I thought one of them is Lucy.
I think
maybe
Lucy's
she's just in between.
Well, they look, but both the ones I can see look kind of pink. So
yeah, that's the thing.
I think Lucy might be there as well, but we just can't see her. But she is smaller than Sugar and Jazz. So
To
going up and down.
GTH, I don't think Romeo is really heading now to the door because I think he stays with the boys.
Yeah, Romeo usually stays out, so I think he was just stretching or something.
Yeah, and sometimes he flees his place because Snowball's coming.
Causey seems to be sort of walking up and down like she's trying to get into mischief. Oh, sounds like a pip.
That sounds really like a pip. Like the Pippa whistle. Super famous Pippa whistle.
Oh yeah, there's the pip. And Causey is going out. And Pippa's going in.
Look at the cozy. Look at that hat bobbing.
Oh, cozy.
Mm,
He's the
Oh,
best.
you love the cause.
mm.
He's the best.
I know. I think someone told Pippa we talked about Apple and Microsoft without her. That's a no-go. She's the expert.
Hmm.
How can we dare? Let's do a little round. And it looks weird that it's raining in California.
Yeah, it does look odd, doesn't it? Everything looks so shiny.
It just looks wrong.
I wonder if the birds are kind of baffled because they're not doing very much. Maybe they're just looking outside like, what is this?
Might be.
Oh, Pippa's scratching her head.
Miss Mommy Pip.
Mm-hmm. Single mom of 5.
Oh, Pippa, please don't lay another egg.
Yeah. She's having a stretch. I think she likes to come out though and have the chance to kind of run around like a crazy thing. So maybe getting away from the kids for a while does her good. Romeo is grinding his beak, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is he cute? Such a cutie. And Pippa ranting again? That's right.
And here comes a snowball.
Yeah.
Snowball.
Happy snowball. Let's see what the snowball does.
Snowball.
Snow bird.
Snowball.
That's right. Oh, going up to the Moluccans.
It's like, my pink beauties.
Yeah, a little bit
Well,
stalking.
looks like Sugar's on. No, that was Jasmine, I think. Jasmine's on the move. She's like, Snowball's there.
You just loves to admire them. You guys are so cute.
Oh, very calm today.
Yeah,
now
it
he's
really must feel related maybe to the weather, because usually the Moluccans go crazy when Don is away, but today they are really calm. Also
like
well behaved.
Yeah, Snowball's going over to Amanda, I think. Amanda's not freaking, so he must be feeling very calm.
Yeah, he just sits and Pippa is preening. Oh, my boys. Someone is on the very right corner looking out, I think. No, yeah, now the shadow is moving. Walking again?
Was that Jasmine chasing Salamander?
I don't know. Now it's going, there's a little bit commotion within the Moluccans.
Babaloo, babaloo.
Yeah, I think that's Manda who's walking now.
Babaloo. Nice for Babaloo. People are like, oh.
Like,
It's a pity they don't like each other. Well, maybe it's a good thing. Probably.
I think Bob likes her, but she doesn't like him.
Yep.
Or at least she doesn't want anything to do with him. Oh, look, it looks like Sugar's come over to the front of the aviary.
Yeah, and Amanda is already there, looking out, and Sugar is walking the Suggy walk with her beak on the rope.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Amanda. Oh, look at that cute boy looking out. Hi, Amanda. Yeah, we see you. Miss
Oh,
Shuggy is
Amanda.
coming over. Yeah, that looks like Shug.
Oh, here she
That
comes.
you should look at that long leggies. And now Jasmine is also walking in the background, a little bit flapping. A Shuggy.
Yeah. Now we're starting to get some activity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amanda's starting to spin a little bit. I like it. Lately he's spinning and spinning and spinning, having lots of
Yeah.
fun.
It's been doing a lot of that lately.
Walking around. Oh, look at that Shuggy bird. That Shuggy, what are you doing? Are you going over to Romeo? No. I was wondering. Oh, good girl, Shug.
Let me see if I can find it.
By having a big strap. And oh, I think Lisa will be super happy. Look who's coming. The bucket
It's the Cecil.
and there's the one and only. Here's Bucket Boy.
And his little bucket. And a ball. He's got a bashy ball.
Mm-hmm.
Go bucket boy.
That was the Cecil. Oh, look at that bucket.
Bucket boy.
Bucket boy.
Get
Bucket
in
boy.
here.
Don't come on, Cecil.
Defend
Stay
your
inside
bucket,
with your
Cecil.
bucket. Mm-hmm.
It's like, Dad, don't touch my bucket.
Mm-hmm. The holy bucket.
It's his special
Bob,
bucket.
no, you can't sit there, Bob.
Mm.
Unless you want to be a flat Babaloo.
Does he want to change roles with you? So today he's the Don and you are the Bob.
Cecil, I need to get a piece of paper. No, don't fight me. Don't do it. Bob, standing in poop. Hey, get out of there. Dipstick.
Just 1 minute inside and more trouble than the 2 hours with the girls.
Yeah.
You got a ball in there. I left it in the cellophane to see what you do.
Mm. Yeah, let him just open it by himself. I think they can do it.
I'm sure he can figure it out.
Mm. Package is no obstacle for Cecil. Cecil,
he
what's
goes.
wrong with that ball?
Yeah, you can tear that open, Cecil.
You guys have to let me do this. I've got a water. There's a hole in this stupid thing up here.
Oh, bobbly Bob.
I just had to stand up for a second, guys, because I can't have water dripping on me. Ah! Hold on. Here. I have water dripping on the phone.
Oh no. Don't want that.
What's that look? Cecil, you're entertaining, you know that?
Wants to get back in the bucket with it.
Change your mind? Figures I'd put that thing on backwards. Bear with me a second, folks. I'm trying to put the handle on this case. It's a little easier.
I think the people in the chat are really happy to get some extra minutes with their favorite boys like Cecil and Bobby.
Well, cellophane, you know, can be frustrating for us too. So I mean, he's this is not right.
Yeah, look now at Babalu, how he's watching what Cecil is doing.
It's a really good way to keep him busy.
Mm.
Maybe he just decided to bash you with it, even though it's still in the wrapper. Oh, Cecil.
Babalu. Oh, Bob.
I wish I could figure out what these idiots did in coding that makes it so I can't bring this thing back up to full screen. It's just, if you tap it, it goes into change your background.
Full screen to us, at least.
Yeah, it's just, if I wanted to take a high resolution picture, I couldn't because these idiots
Oh,
on their
okay.
background thing, you know, it pops up in the background and you can't get rid of it. And that just happened before. I had to leave and come back to make it work. Do a bug report, but I doubt they even read them. What are you doing? You don't have to break the toy to take off the cellophane.
Nope.
He probably enjoys the wrestling noise.
You got that piece of scissors you call a face. You should be able to do it. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Pippa says I could tear the cellophane off easily.
That's right. Hello, Pip. Pippa.
Okay, if you're gonna break it, here.
Oh, there's the Pip. She doesn't like it. Now she comes over.
Whee! There you go,
Come on,
Cecil.
Pippa. Tell the boys. Tell them. Look at that brand new ball.
See, Pippa thinks, I'm developing the new M Infinity chip. And there are the boys, and they can't even get a ball out of a plastic bag.
Oh, Pippa. These boys.
What do you want? What do you want? That's my face.
Let's grab the face.
What? What?
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, Lisa says, wait till one day Cecil carries the bucket up to Daddy Don.
He doesn't like anybody touching that bucket. You touch it, he'll run over there and protect it.
Mm.
Hey, you
Would you
taking that part
touch it
already?
first?
Cecil, you just got that toy.
Pip, pip, pip.
Nut, taking it apart already? Don't take it apart.
Mm.
Don't take it apart. No.
Don, would you please touch the bucket? We all want to see Cecil run. Oh no, there's Babaloo in the way. Babaloo Bob, how's it going? Oh, look at that Shuk Shuk back there. She having a good time.
I wonder why she's gone so far away.
I'm not sure. Maybe Cecil?
Or because we saw her playing and now she has to act all standoffish for a while.
I think she went away while the Moluccan commotion while Don was out, so I think she just hasn't made it back over. That's right.
Well, you guys need to get some rest. We probably should end this, but
Well, it's so much fun watching Cecil with his ball.
Let's do a couple of more minutes.
sure. Gone coming though. All right, you guys, no fighting.
I think a lot of people enjoy watching Cecil at the moment.
Well, Lisa says, Dawn, I wish I could sit in your chair. It would be fun.
It is fun. It's work too, but it's fun. I like my work, so you never know when he's going to, there's going to be a little fight over this. He doesn't try to hurt anybody, but he will shove that thing at people. So other birds, they're like people to me. So
You can see a lot of birds suddenly out of picture. So Sugar is back. I don't know where Jasmine is, but
as she's right here,
she's just stayed there. A good girl,
Yeah.
Jessie.
she's been quiet.
Fluffy Mander.
Usually she's a little more active than she is today, but
Mm. Doesn't like the weather.
Oh.
So
I hear this bang, bang, bang sound. It was a raindrop hitting my shoe. All right, let's mess with him. Grab his tail. I got your tail. I think I got a bucket over here too.
Oh, don't touch the bucket.
So Lisa is enjoying the extra life, so she can have a little bit of her Cecil. Crazy Cecil. And is he now diving into? Oh yeah. Look at that
Look at him
acrobat.
hanging there. So athletic, Cecil.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a brand new ball, and he's already got two of the, well, looks like three of them on the yellow side, and he's working on the blue side now, popping those out. I mean, he knows how to break them, and it doesn't, when he decides to do it, it doesn't take long. But... Pip, 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 pip,
Pip, pip, pip. Oh, Pippa.
pip, pip,
Oh,
pip,
Pip. Pip was very upset when she heard we already talked about Apple, Steve, and Microsoft without her.
Little apple girl, aren't you?
And Shook Shook gets her Dumbo ears out. Actually, her Dumbo feathers.
Yeah.
Not that big at the moment, but she starts.
Oh, she's just too cute.
Oh, pip, pip,
Pip.
pip, pip, pip. Yeah,
Hi, Pip.
she's an example of an active a female. I mean, she's active. She's busy getting into things all the time. It's too bad you can't see Coco. There's old videos. You can see how busy she was. She was always getting into things, and she was running for me a lot too. She used to manage the socialization room for me. I'm not kidding. She did. She actually kept the other birds in line. So. Miss that girl. What do you want, Salamander? I know. Pet my head. I know. Pet my head.
No, Amanda.
Mander. Gotta pet that head.
Some more attention.
Well, I hate to do it, but I got to go because I've got to check on some things for the realtor, and I told him I'd do it right after the meeting, so he was all over. But it was fun, though. I wish I could keep going, but I better do what I'm told. Thank you all.
Thanks for the live, Don.
Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you, Amy, for managing all the important things for me in the background. And
thank you, everybody, for coming.
We'll see you next time. If I can figure out how to turn it off now that it's being weird on me. Let's see.